I just completed one of the hardest Dark Ops challenges in Black Ops 7 Zombies. I got to round 20 without ever getting hit once. And in this video I will show you how I did it and how you can do it yourself to unlock this calling card. And the best part is I didn't even use any gums to complete this. Before we start, a quick disclaimer, this is meant as a solo guide, so if you want to do this challenge in a co-op game, you can definitely do that, as long as you are the one getting to round 20 without getting hit, but if you want to do it solo, it's quite difficult. So let's get started. What do you need to bring into the match? Well, you're gonna need an LMG with preferably some good attachments, especially for the ammo capacity. I actually use the MK78 with the belt mag for this. Besides your weapon, the advised tactical equipment for this are decoy grenades, as they distract zombies. And for your lethal equipment, I advise you to bring sentry turrets. Now, of course, gums can be extremely helpful for this challenge. I just did it without them because I hate using them. But if you want to make your life easier, you can always use just a perkaholic, maybe use a power keg for more field upgrade charges, and idle eyes to make the zombies stop moving. The choice is up to you how you want to do it. But you will not need those things. The other crucial part of this whole strategy is to bring toxic growth as your field upgrade, because you're gonna need it, first of all, to get better loot in the beginning, and then you want to place it around yourself in a corner so that the zombies don't hit you. I will explain that part in a moment. For your toxic growth augments, I used a major augment called Urticant, which increases the toxic growth spread, and I found this to be the most helpful major augment out of all. And for my minor augments, I used Extra Charge, which increases the field upgrade capacity to 2, which is of course crucial for this whole strategy. And for the other minor augment, I used Ankle Shredder, which allows enemies that move through the growth to be even slower. Now, I think this goes without saying, but you need to fully have toxic growth research before you can equip 2 minor augments. So do that before you even start this challenge. So for this whole strategy, you will only rely on toxic growth and your LMG most of the time and your equipment. There's no need to buy perks or to even leave the spawn area. That's right, we are not going to drive the car into any other POI. Just saying. But assuming you have your loadout equipped, you want to start a match of Ashes of the Damned. Now, of course, this Dark Ops is possible on any zombies map, including the survival ones, but I'm gonna do it on Ashes of the Damned because I found this here way easier to do. Okay, starting on round 1, you want to grab the fumigator and work on plants. By now, I'm sure most of you have noticed this mechanic in the game where you protect those green spores on the floor and they can grow and then they will give you loot and rewards. Now, this is the first crucial part of this whole strategy, because you want to get better rewards to get Pack-a-Punch tier 2 for your LMG, and preferably an epic ether tool. So starting on round 1, you want to keep that in mind and work on plants at the beginning of each round. I always buy the coda from the wall for the first few rounds, but any weapon that drops from those plants might be useful for this whole challenge. So if you're lucky enough to get a purple Akita shotgun from it, I would take it. At the end of round 2 or 3, I also advise you to go ahead and to repair old Tessie. We are going to need the car later down the road. For now, just protect the spores each round, and as soon as your field upgrade is ready, you want to toxic growth the spore for it to grow faster and to drop better loot rewards. And yeah, if you're lucky, you will get Pack-a-Punch crystals, and this will help tremendously in the first few rounds with the upgraded LMG. Now the goal is that in the end, you want to have an LMG that has the purple rarity and is Pack-a-Punched twice. And ideally, you want to have a secondary weapon that is maybe Pack-a-Punched once and has a blue ether tool equipped. This all heavily relies on RNG. So if you don't get Pack-a-Punch crystals in the first maybe 10 rounds, I advise you to actually restart the game, because then you have higher chances to actually complete this. But assuming that everything works as planned, you get good rewards, you upgrade your rarity and Pack-a-Punch, then you wanna move to this corner in the spawn room. It's next to the vending machine. And basically you wanna get up there and just camp. Yeah, you wanna just use your fully upgraded weapon and one-shot the enemies at this point in the first few rounds. You shouldn't really struggle with that. And as soon as you have another toxic growth ability ready, you want to place it in front of you so that it spreads across this whole area. But still initiate the spore defense at the beginning of each round because this actually attracts a lot of zombies and it's easier for you to camp in this corner and to shoot at the zombies from there. On max ammo rounds, feel free to throw your decoy grenades and sentry turrets to kill the Ravengers. Now, as soon as you have 2 fully charged toxic growth abilities ready, you want to place an additional one in front of the existing one, like this. It's possible to have up to 3 toxic growth plants at the same time. At this point, you should have 2 toxic growth plants in front of you and maybe still the first one that you used to grow the spore. Now, if this one is destroyed by now, that's completely fine. You don't really need any more rewards when you are set, but focus on the 2 in front of you. Have always 1 charge ready for the case that one gets destroyed, so you can always just pop one in front of you. And besides that, always keep an eye out for power-ups. You might get a full power every now and then, and that's extremely helpful. Now, when it comes to camping here with the LMG, make sure to really count your shots. Don't just spread it and shoot everything that moves. You want to save your ammo and always tap the fire button, if that makes sense. Because your weapon should be strong enough to really 1 or 2 tap the enemies. And if you need to constantly reload that LMG, that's going to cost you a lot of time. And the toxic growth can only defend you for so long before it actually gets destroyed. So keep that in mind, and if you really need to reload or if it's overcharged with the belt mag, you can always just swap to your secondary weapon and use that for a moment. Now, here's where it gets interesting, because we know on round 16 the first Sursa spawns in, the elite enemy, the bear. And this one is of course a problem. If you don't want to get hit, yeah, good luck with that, because he has a lot of attacks, including ranged attacks. But the good thing is, I found a way to completely make him irrelevant. Remember the part where I said you want to build the car or repair it for later? Well, this is the time now. So at the end of round 14 or 15, you want to get to the car and park it in front of this fence right here. This is the spot where he tries to get out normally if you just camp in a spawn area. But when the car is actually parked here, he can't get out. He will just walk in this area and yeah, he can't do anything about it. So you don't have to worry at all anymore. Now, should this ever get fixed or patched because Treyarch thinks this is like an exploit, my advice is to still do the same strategy up to this point, but maybe throw a decoy grenade or 2 and really focus on him from all the way back before he can even run towards you in the spawn area. But assuming this is still working, you just don't have to worry about him anymore. Just make sure the car is parked here and continue with the rounds. At this point, there should only be a few rounds left, including 1 max ammo round. Now, this is important information because you want to save your equipment, including decoy grenades and turrets, for round 19. My max ammo round was on round 17, so I had to survive round 18 and 19. For those final rounds, I also advise you to have 3 toxic growth plants around yourself, 1 to the left and 2 in front of you. Also, the reason why I don't advise you to drive the car in front of the fence before round 16 is because zombies can get stuck behind the car, and this will just slow down the rounds. Yes, it could make it a bit more easier, but then again, you always have to go back to the spawn area, kill the last few zombies and proceed. As you can see here in round 18, the round was basically done. The bear was still behind the fence, but some zombies were behind the car, so I had to shoot them real quick to make the round skip. On round 19, you need to lock in 1 final time. Be sure to make the most out of your decoy grenades and sentry turrets to space out the zombies, and then just, really focus on them. And in the end, if you did everything right and never got hit once, you should get this calling card. As you can see, it took quite some time for the calling card to pop up on my screen, but there you have it. The funny thing is, the bear is still behind the fence, with another bear actually. So yeah, at this point you shouldn't care anymore and can just leave the game, but basically that's my strategy. That's how I did it. I used toxic growth, camped in a corner with an LMG, and parked the car in front of the zombie bear spawn. But that's it, that's the video, that's my guide. I hope this was helpful. Have fun doing this challenge yourself, either with Gums or without. And yeah, I wish you best of luck when you attempt this. And I see you in the next video. Take care.